We are live. Hello, everyone. This is officially day 2 of our 5 keys to well-nourished motherhood. And today we are going to be talking with Rachael Theissen. She is going to be our movement professional and friend. I'm so excited for her to come on and for you guys to get to know her and ask some questions and learn some powerful things about mindful movement. So with Rachael coming on today, I just have to be patient for her to show up. And I'm going to say, Rachael, when you do come in the room, just maybe send me a message below in the comments. And then when I see what you said that you're here, I can invite you on. Right now, I don't yet see you, so I'm just going to be patient, say hello. Oh, I think I see you popped on, Rachael. So I'm going to invite you on. Thank you, everybody, for being here. If you're here, say hello. Say what's up in the comments. Let's see. Oh, Rachael, I'm adding you. Add. And guys, let's see. Says adding. So, oh, it said declined. That's not good. Sometimes this happens with interviews. I have had it be a little bit wonky sometimes. So I'm just going to try again. Let's just see. Maybe say hello in the comments, Rach. We'll see if that does something different. But I'm going to try and invite you again. Da-da-da-da. Gotcha. So it's adding again. Connecting.
Hi.
Hi, Rachael.
Hi, so nice to see you.
You too. How does it sound? I realized I don't have headphones in. I'm not sure how
I,
the feedback is.
I just realized the same thing. So if someone wants to drop a comment and let us know to make sure that it sounds okay.
Exactly. So far, nobody's said anything that it doesn't sound okay.
Okay.
Sometimes seeing it sideways though, comments are a little funky. Oh, Tom brought me my headphones anyway, so maybe I'll just put those in just to see, because sometimes it's a little bit weird. Thank you, babe, by the way. Okay, there we go.
And you guys can see me okay? Awesome.
Okay, good. Thank you, Nikki. Well, welcome, Rachael.
Thank you. Thank you. So nice to be here.
Yeah, I'm so glad you're here. I haven't seen you face to face, and what has it been, like 10 years?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So
That's
much
what I
has
was thinking. It
happened.
was like, yeah. It was like 8 to 10 years ago.
There, yeah, yeah. It's amazing. Good. Everybody's saying it sounds great, so we're good.
Awesome. I'm so glad.
Yay.
Let's
Well,
see if
thank
I
you
can
so
see
much
these
for being
comments.
here. This is so awesome. And you know what?
Thanks.
Let's just start with you maybe sharing a bit about yourself, introduce you, where are you at right now, what's going on?
Yeah, so we met because I was working at a gym in Mississauga. So I've been a CrossFit coach for over 12 years now. And that was really my first start in the fitness industry. And I just loved it. As soon as I started doing CrossFit, I just was totally hooked, obsessed, loved it, and have just really enjoyed being a coach for all these years. And so we met at one gym, and then 5 years ago, my husband and I left and opened up a new gym. So that's been 5 years of working together. Yeah, it's been amazing. And I feel like it's a really great combination for us. And it's so convenient too to have a family business and to do everything together. So I just love it. But yeah, so I mean, when I was a coach, I trained everyone. The guys, the girls, everyone came to our gym. Older people, younger people, moms, people from all different fitness levels. But since becoming a mom myself, I've really found my focus and my heart to be with moms. So after having my little guy, he's going to be 3 in like less than 2 weeks. I
Oh my
know.
gosh, how did that happen so fast? Uh,
I, I can't believe it. So yeah, so that's really where my heart is with moms. So after having him, I started, actually maybe it was, I guess it was while I was pregnant with him. I started a mom class at the gym. So just all moms working out together, pregnant, or bring your little baby and we'll watch them. And yeah, so that's really been the focus of my life for the last 3.5 years. And yeah, it just feels perfect and wonderful. So
Oh, I'm so happy for you and so proud of you. Like, that's amazing that like now you're really focused on mothers. And like, I remember when I first started at the gym, you felt like a mother figure, you know, like you just have such this like warm, caring, like love everybody energy. And you just make everyone feel so comfortable no matter where their skill level. And like,
um,
and even though I'm not active in CrossFit now, like what I learned back then, I still use in my everyday life. And like, I don't like, it's just helped me to bring movement into my everyday living and to know that like I have my body and my body is enough to work out, like, you know, and like I love that so much. So like I owe so much gratitude to you and the work that you do. Like I love having you here and like being able to share all your wisdom with others. So you're so awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for so much.
thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I was so honored when you reached out to me to be a part of this because, yeah, I mean, I have such great memories of our times
Yeah,
together. So, yeah,
me
awesome.
too. Meant to be. So cool. Well, the first question I have for you, because it's one that like really helped me a lot. I'm moving this for my kitty. He's like getting all over the place right now. He'll probably pop in and say hello. But in regards to functional movement, can you explain like what functional movement is and why it's so important for mothers?
Functional movement is, well, it's the premise of CrossFit, really. And so CrossFit has a lot of like weird connotations. People think that it's really hardcore or extreme, and it totally can be if you are at a hardcore or extreme place in your life. But because the foundation is that functional movement, that's really just natural movement or any movement that is a real movement that you would do as a real person in real life or anything that would mimic that. And so that's where the training comes in place is you're mimicking movements that you would do in regular everyday life and getting stronger at them in this training, whether that's loaded with weights or just volume in terms of the amount of repetitions that you would be doing. Those different ways that we can manage the intensity of what you're doing for your exercise, which is really important just to meet you where you are. But all of these exercises, so for example, a squat is just sitting down and standing back up again, or a lunge when you're bending over to change your baby's diaper. That's all functional movements that you do throughout the day. So when you put them into your training routine, then it just helps you get stronger at them for your everyday life.
Ah, yes, yes, yes. Like I actually have an experience when Ella was really young and I was constantly like moving over the crib to put her in the crib and and then the breastfeeding, like all the bending over and bending over, I really hurt my back and like I had to like almost not move for a while. And then I was like, wait a second, like am I being mindful like when I pick her up? Like, why don't I just like hold my back in the squat position or hold my back in the deadlift position and then lift her up from there? It changed everything. Like I healed my back, like it didn't come back. And I was like, wow, I need to talk about this. And like, I actually wrote a blog at one point because I was like, I really hurt myself because I wasn't taking the practices that I know about and applying them to just being a mom and being with my kid every day, you know, and even just like being on the floor and being able to get up, like these things are so important. And like we forget, like, you know, as we have babies and we get older, like our body doesn't work the same as when we were younger. So you know, this stuff is so important. Amazing.
Yeah, that's so true. I'm glad you had that experience because that's that's
Yeah.
when I realized like, oh, okay, there's a reason behind all this. I remember the first time I was like down in a lunge position, changing diaper, and then I'm like, how can I get back up out of this position? Like, do I have abs anymore? Do they work? Can I?
Yep. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. And I found for me too, when especially when like she's really little and like you have to keep your mind an eye on them so much. Like I remember like I'd be pushing her on the swing and every time she pushed, I squat. I push, squat, you know, just like try and find any moment. Or like she's in the bathtub and I'm like pushing, like doing push-ups on like the countertop because you just have to kind of figure out how you can fit them in and then they can just almost like watch you just move. That's good.
That's the
They're kind
best
of,
part.
it is. Yeah. You can just use what you have. I really wanted to bring also, and you kind of touched upon it a little bit, but like, what is the importance of mindfulness in movement?
Yeah, so there's two aspects to the mindfulness. And so there's the mindfulness in terms of what your body is actually doing. So being aware of the muscles that you have, the muscles that you're using, and saying, okay, I am going to use these muscles here to do this exercise. So just like you said, when you're bending over or picking something up or picking baby up, like, okay, I have to be mindful of these muscles that I'm using to do this exercise properly, safely, all of those things. That's really important to be mindful of. And that's why it's important to train these exercises, if possible, before you get pregnant, while you're pregnant, to continue doing them afterwards, so that when your body changes, you still can create that connection of like, oh, okay, to do this movement, I use these muscles. And that's what you're training when you're doing these exercises in the gym with a coach or practicing at home on your own, is you're training, okay, I'm going to do this movement. I'm going to use these muscles to activate them, turn them on, to keep them strong.
Beautiful. I love that. Two things are coming to mind. One, I want to ask people, where are you at in introducing or incorporating functional movement into your days? So whether that's squats, whether that's even just push-ups, lunges, just straight posture, holding in your stomach, planks, anything of that regard. What are you doing, if anything? Just share with us below, because I would love to hear and bounce back ideas. And what you just said as well, Rachel, triggered in me, like for when I'm washing dishes, right? Like it's so easy to like put your belly on the counter and lean over, or like, you know, be so far away or something like that. And I've been really trying to be as mindful as possible of like holding my core really tight, right? And Kegel, right? Like that's something I think as moms, like you can sneeze too hard and
Yeah.
stuff happens. Right. And so like just holding onto the Kegels and like tightening in the center of my core and like keeping my shoulders back. I found that like I try and hold that position when I do the dishes so that it's like an active movement, even though you're standing. And to me, that's how I try and bring like mindfulness into those things, of being conscious of like what muscles I'm engaging, and like let my mind know like, okay, even right now, like I'm squeezing my muscles, and like that's good. That's enough. Like that's mindfulness to your muscle groups. And I think even like almost like going through the body bit by bit and bringing like, you know, even your breath to each muscle part just helps with that holistic of like, okay, this is my body, I got this, you know, and like I brought thought to every area, because otherwise it's so easy to just forget about some things. And even the posture is a really big one. And speaking of that, Rachael wrote an amazing, I want to say ebook on like mindful movement for mothers. It's fantastic. And what I've done for you guys is I've extracted the portion on posture, because I feel like that's one of the most essential things, as well as everything else. But that one is almost fundamental for me personally. And that's going to be part of like the gift that you guys get for even just being here and watching this. So I'll put those links above, and then I will also have it on the main page of this group. Just wanted to throw that out there. And let me see what some people are saying. Eleanor, you need to snart. Yes. Which of these functional movements speaks to you the most? Like squats, push-ups, planks, just like tightening your body. What parts speak to you the most? And then Nikki, just passed, maintaining strong back while planting hundreds of garlic by hand. Yes, honey, holy moly. That's intense. Good for you though. That's exactly what you have to do. Otherwise it's, yeah, painful. It could be painful, but that's exciting.
I want to show you guys quickly one of the things that I really like to practice and to teach is when you're pushing the stroller. So being mindful of your stroller. If this is your stroller, it's so easy to walk like this, right? Pushing that stroller hunched over. So when you're pushing the stroller, think about your belly. It's a little bit low here, but think about your belly being what pushes the stroller. Keeping
Ooh.
it so close to your body, and your arms like even bent if possible.
Ooh, that's really, really good. Definitely, because I can even see in your body that that just keeps everything straight and in alignment versus going out like this. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic tip.
It's so easy to just be lazy and slouchy, and so being mindful
Yes.
in that way. And yeah, in everything that you're doing. Yeah, so planting garlic, oh my gosh, gardening is a great exercise for sure.
It really is. I had my first garden this summer, actually. It was really good. It went kind of terrible in the end. All of my squirrels ate everything. It was so sad. So I'll have to do it differently next year, but that's a different story.
Yeah, I had one tomato plant totally took over the whole garden. It was
No way.
crazy. Yeah.
All
So I
those
had lots of
tomatoes.
tomatoes and nothing else.
Tomato sauce. Very cool. Do you actually mind like getting up once more and like showing us the proper squat? Because I find that that's
absolutely.
like the number one thing, and maybe a lunge too, because those are so helpful for me. And I find that getting the form correctly intimidates a lot of people, and so they don't do it if they don't know how.
Yeah, so for a squat, I always like to start just practicing on a chair. So you're nice and tall and your feet are at the edge of the chair or just wider than your hips. So a nice wide stance so that there's room for your knees to go out. And then you're sitting nice and tall, and you can even just sit on the chair for a minute before you come back up, or a second, sorry. And then just sit and then come back up.
Perfect.
So bringing your arms up like this also helps focus on that whole body alignment. So you're not slouched over squatting like this, using your arms on your legs to help you pump it.
Yeah, that's really good. Did you guys see that? Are you guys squat fans? Are you going to practice from today onward?
And then for a lunge, especially as a new mom, it's really important to have something to help stabilize yourself. So you can even just hold on to something and do lunges on the spot here, nice and tall. Or you can step with them. Same thing, just really focusing on that posture. So chin up, looking forward, pushing your hip forward. Being really tall is the most important thing for all of these exercises, because that posture is what carries over to everything else.
Oh my God, so important. Thank you so much. I had like a thought there too, that for moms not like to almost expect, like if you're going to do it, don't think that you have to do it like when the kid's sleeping or the kid's in bed or get up early. Like if they're around, just do it, right? And I know for me at the beginning, when Ella was really crawling all over the place, she would just crawl all over me. And then she'd become my weight as I do my squats, and she'll be my like right there beside me as I do my lunges. And to know that that's totally okay, right? That's right where you are. And so embrace it.
Yeah, I have a couple videos where my workout is me jumping side to side over a banana. That banana was just part of what was being played with. And okay, I'm just going to move with this banana and go around the kid as he's running around.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I love that. And I see that, Ellen, go ahead. What do you see?
Yeah, Eleanor said stomach exercises and Kegels for sure. So one of the things I talk about in this book, in that posture, is focusing on activating your core all the time. So something like lying on your back isn't really a functional exercise. So we don't do a lot of lying ab work. It's super useful as isolation exercises in like a rehab context. So I also have a program that's like for the first 6, to start 6 weeks after baby, but for your first 6 weeks of working out after baby to sort of like ramp back up. And that's when you see a lot of stretches and a lot of exercises when you're on the ground that'll help train your core. But these things like squats, being really tall, that helps train your core. Just reaching overhead, it doesn't even have to be a weight. That, if you're activating your core here, like as if someone's going to punch you in the stomach, that will help get it strong all the time. So if you want a strong core, you just got to flex it all day.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know like there was a time like my husband's like, like coughing, don't mind my abs, right? But it's that feeling, right? It's like, and then it's the tight at the end that I feel like you just have to hold on to and then squeeze a little lower and you get your Kegels under there. But like that could be anywhere. You can do it anywhere. Washing dishes just with your kid, just walking around, even lying in bed, Eleanor. All that stuff is could be used anywhere. What else is said? I love squats too, Robin. I know you do. That's so awesome. Oh, Nikki, please tell me the secrets of nursing a baby and not destroying my upper spine and neck. Oh my God, so many tension headaches. Great question. Take it away.
This, right? Like this, the one side, there's always one side that they love the most, right? Yeah. So trying to be as upright as possible, right? Even reclining if possible. or just lying on your back. So like if you're nursing, if you're in bed, right, then just lying flat on your back and baby's just like on top of you. Or yeah, trying to be as reclined as possible without like crunching your spine so that you're leaning back so that you can have that sort of open posture. But the
Yes.
damage is going to get done. So neck stretches, just like really, really simple neck stretches, would just be placing your hand on the top of your head and not even pulling, but just
Okay.
letting the weight of your hand on the top of your head, just let it open and just take those 10 deep breaths in, and then deep breath out. You can put it on the back of your head and turn and smell your armpit. This is a good physio exercise. I've spent more than enough time in physio. And then looking up to the ceiling here. Yeah, take those nice deep breaths, and that'll just help open everything up. And then make sure that you do the same thing on the other side. You always have one side that's like a little bit more grungy than the other side. But all these things are just think about opening them. So typically when you have problems with your muscles or your joints from things, it's from being too tight, it's from being too compressed. So anything that you can do to open up that posture, roll your shoulders back and down, pretend like you're squeezing a pencil between your shoulder blades. And I do have one more stretch that I want to show you. This one's called the doorway stretch. And so it's a chest opening stretch.
Yes.
And so you're just going to go into any sort of door frame. I'm not going to push too hard because it's my actual cabinet door. And the same arm that's up, that leg is going to go forward in a lunge. So again, you're really tall, upright, and it's going to feel opening, nice. You can start down low and then reach up high, just to get rid of that compression that you're feeling.
Oh, those are so great. Even so great for me, and I'm not breastfeeding anymore.
Oh, I know.
I had a visual when you were kind of like leaning back and you're like, okay, sit back, have your chest open. I love that. And then I was almost seeing like maybe could she put a pillow like under her
Yes.
hand maybe? And then it's not like she has to hold up the weight of the baby, but then there's like a pillow underneath. And like, I know for me, what I did for a while too, is like, I would lie down on my, I don't know how good, well, actually this is for posture, but it worked for me to relax. But like, I would like lie down on my side with my arm up and then like boobies on the bed and then babies right here. And like, that was like, oh my God, relief for a minute because I could like lie down. But you know, all these little tips and tricks.
I took, those big, long C-shaped like pregnancy pillows that you take to bed with you?
Oh, yes.
So I cut one of those in half. So it was just like a circle C, and I would always put that behind my back. And then I would have the nursing pillow like up front. So you have that support in the back too, as well. That just helps you be more upright.
Oh, that's really good too. That's smart. Did you sew it then? Like you cut it and then sew it? Smart. Super, super smart. I actually was thinking of one more question before we kind of conclude here a little bit, because I was like, what do you find are like when you're working with like mothers, like what are some of like the biggest difficulties that people find when they're trying to incorporate like exercise into their daily life? That might be a hard one.
Yeah, I know. That's a good one for sure. I find it really just depends on where you're coming from. So my number one job, first of all, is just to listen and to try to find where you're coming from, where you're at, and just try to meet you there. So I find a lot of moms are very impatient to get their body back, and I totally understand that frustration. But for that kind of person, it's kind of about sort of reining them back in and saying like, let's start slow, let's build that foundation, because you really want to make sure that this movement is coming from the right place. And so I know you talk a lot about the why, Brittany. So when you're thinking about why you want to do these movements, there's a couple different ways to look at it. You can look at it from I want to fit back in my jeans perspective. I want to change this number on the scale perspective. And those are all really valid feelings, but I find that you'll get more out of your mindful movement when you focus more on, I'm doing this for me to be strong for my baby. I'm doing this for me to feel healthy so that I have more energy, for so many of the same reasons that you girls are here to begin with, right? It's having that same mindfulness towards this movement and having it come from there. So that it comes from both sides. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, good job, Nikki.
So, and it comes from the other side as well, right? So you can have that feeling of like, I'm too tired to do anything, or I have to go to a gym and have an hour to do something. So really trying to figure out what these limiting beliefs are and where they're coming from is the most important thing to figure out what we're going to need to work on to get success. So if you're like a super high level athlete and you can't wait to get back into it and crush, 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 then I would have a different program for you, obviously, than I would for someone who hasn't really worked out before and is just trying to move to feel better, but just trying to figure out like where your heart is about this is definitely the biggest thing to work on.
Oh, that's so important. I'm so glad you said that because that's everything. And like you said, like those are absolutely okay goals, but there's like a bigger why that will keep us moving longer if we kind of look into that and tap into that. And also that goes with a lot of what I say too, of like, instead of like trying to get your body back to where it was, it's almost like the accepting where your body is now. Like, you're a mom, your body's different, you know? And then from that place of acceptance, you slowly get your new body back. It's going to be your new body. But then it's a lot easier in a sense where, you know, it almost just happens naturally instead of thinking it needs to happen faster than it does. 'Cause it's a journey. Mhm.
Yes, yes. And so just making sure that you have that really strong foundation is so important because if you don't meet yourself where you are, you can go too hard, too fast, end up setting yourself up for some sort of trouble down the road. Just like any beginner athlete that I would take coming into the gym, you want to start off, even if you feel like you're already here, we want to start here and like build our way through at whatever pace is most comfortable for you. And then, yeah, and but then also finding ways to incorporate it into your everyday life. So if you're not going to go to a gym, if you're not going to have an hour, how can we just make this part of your lifestyle so that it just becomes part of your day with baby, that you're just moving and doing things together. And, you know, like my little guy loved doing burpees by the time he was like 18 months
That's
old
so
because
cool.
he would just see you doing them or, you
Yeah.
know, so I mean, taking away the idea that it has to be like a real workout,
Yes.
you know, and just being able to take 10 minutes to focus on that mindful movement for your goals, whatever they may be, knowing that it's going to help you.
Oh, I love that. And how much pressure does that take off of us, eh? Like,
Yes.
you could do 10 minutes a day, you know what I mean? And in whatever flow way works for you. Like even Eleanor, she's an older mom and just wants more mobility and energy. That's perfect. Every single day you could do little things to build your mobility and energy. It doesn't have to be some big extravagant workout.
Mhm. And I find that momentum comes from starting, right? So
Ooh.
instead of being like, okay, I'm going to wait till I have motivation and energy to start something, because it's totally understandable that if you've been up with baby for 4 hours and he finally goes down for a nap, like all you want to do is just relax on the couch because you've been chasing around this child for the last whatever. So that's why being able to bring it together makes it so much easier. And then once you start, you're going to feel better and you're going to see how easy it is to incorporate it and to keep going. So instead of waiting for having the perfect time or whatever, then just being able to go.
Oh, I love that. This is amazing. Thank you so much, Rach. Please tell us where these mummies can find you and learn more about you and connect with you.
Yes. So on that link that you have, I have my Instagram. I have my Facebook. There's a couple of different links on there. I'm gonna have a download for this book. But please, I'll put my email address in here as well. And please just contact me with any questions that you have. Wherever you are, whatever you're looking for, I'm here for you guys. And yeah, just to help out because this is just what I do. This is just what I love.
Oh, thank you so much. And this ebook that you have created, one of you guys gets to win it at the end of this. So keep showing up, keep commenting. You could be a winner. I'm so excited. It's so valuable. And Rachel, thank you so much for your time and all that you shared with us. I know that this has helped someone. It's even helped me. So thank you so much for joining us today.
It was such a pleasure. Thank you so much, Brittany.
You're so welcome. And if anybody else has any lasting questions, feel free to put them at the bottom. I'm sure Rachel can go through and answer whatever pops up.
Yeah.
Yay. All right, everybody. Have a good day. See you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Bye, Rach.
Bye.